You're live,
I'm
honey.
live? All right, check me
I'm
out.
actually just sticking this up here real
Yeah, good.
quick.
We're trying to set up our phone in our little loft in Amsterdam.
Oh, and boy,
It's a pretty cool space, except
probably echo, so
rest
you need to be careful.
the restroom and water supply is all downstairs, and my legs are sore, so that sucks. But
It's not showing that we're
are,
good.
is it not? It's not showing that we're live, guys.
Oh, but we are.
So are you gonna put drops in my eyes, or are we gonna say no?
Okay. I guess you just chat on.
Yeah.
Chat on.
Because I can't read anything yet.
You guys let us know if you can hear us okay. And I just want to tell you right away that we are
Is there anything we do with that plate?
That plate is there on purpose.
I know it's holding it, but it's a green,
I see.
It's a green distraction.
It's
a green distraction.
Well, they might just have to live with the green distraction.
Living with green distractions happen.
Yeah, I think we're going to leave the green distraction.
You want to just put my phone up there instead, and I'm put my phone in the shirt?
No, why does it matter? Y'all don't care. If it's a table, it's a table.
Okay, I guess so.
You want me to maybe? Okay, I'm going to try something really quickly.
We're getting it fixed.
Well, maybe.
Maybe we're getting it fixed. It did nothing. Oh, you fixed it. Oh, no, now it's moving up down. Oh, that's pretty good. I think you got it. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to turn the face sheet a little bit better.
So you want me to get the drops?
Yeah, I'd like to be able to read what people are saying. Oh, guys, did y'all have a good time last night watching probably the most amazing arm wrestling event that's ever taken place ever in the history of ever?
Ever in the history of ever.
Super excited.
We got John Augustin. Thank you so much for the super chat. Are y'all hearing us okay?
What did he say?
He says the monster has returned.
I am definitely in return mode, that's for sure.
Okay, guys, I'm going to put some drops in his eyes.
Did that even go live? Let's go one more right.
Okay.
Now I'm crying again. All right. That's funny.
Okay. We have had no sleep, so don't bump the table because I'm telling you, everything is very precarious how I have it set up there.
All righty.
Let me see.
There was somebody in green there. Who's that?
Danny Medeiros, thank you so much for the super chat. Congratulations, Monster, on your big win. You had me in tears, buddy. Not gonna lie. Me too. That. What you got me crying for?
It's just how it goes sometimes. There's a lot of emotion last night. I mean, we'll go into all that too, just because of all the things that played a role, right? You know.
All right, guys. So let me tell you something right now. We are in Amsterdam, and right there's where you look. Not right there.
But I like it myself over here.
I know. Okay, so we're in Amsterdam, and to put it lightly, I'm pretty sure you guys can figure this out. We've never been here to celebrate a win. Okay. We always we love to stop over in Amsterdam after going to Istanbul because this is where the layovers are.
We fly Delta
for our flights anyway, and so instead of just being stuck in the airport for 8 hours, we usually just schedule the flights round trip from Amsterdam and then stay a couple of days. And this time we're actually staying 3 nights because it's the Tulip Festival.
She's gonna want to see the Tulip Festival.
If you guys follow me, you know that I garden and I love tulips. Okay. Yeah, so super excited about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a good time. But yeah, this is a little different vibe.
Jody Williams is on. Hey.
What's up, buddy?
How you
different
doing?
Vibe because it is, and I think Bill Woody's there too. Because it is celebrating. It is celebrating a victory. So this was my first East versus West victory, and it was a hell of a lot tougher than I had expected.
Yeah. Are we jumping right into that?
Well, we don't have to yet. I'll talk about how I completely threw my game plan out.
Congrats on the return, brother. Hell of a war. Thank you so much, Jimok 618. Thank you so much for the
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the support.
So, yeah, I just want to talk just a little bit. And by the way, we've had no sleep, so we both may be like running on ADHD here. But absolutely the most electric feeling I've ever had in an arm wrestling environment ever. Like,
yeah, I mean, it was just so different than any previous East versus West.
Right.
But even the way WAL did things, UAL did things, it was just a different feel. because
So
it
exciting.
was people who paid to be there.
Right.
I mean, it was a crowd of actual fans.
Right.
Because arm wrestling is a sport now that has a fan base.
Right.
And we're moving in the right direction, so.
And guys, people traveled from all over the world to be there. I'm not talking about the athletes. I'm talking about actual fans of arm wrestling.
Yes.
We had folks, of course, from the U.S., but then Bolivia, Bulgaria. I mean, just all Jordan.
Remember the guy walked up from Jordan?
People coming up, Albania. People coming up to
Kosovo is what it was.
Right? Big fans, Michael. Big fans. We're super excited to see you. So it was. All I can say is, Ingen, take a bow, sir, because what you have done for arm wrestling, simply amazing.
I truly think it's just the tip of the iceberg. I wholeheartedly believe August 10th, if you're on this stream and you're an American, get to Orlando, get there August 9th, and there's going to be an open tournament, amateur, kids, masters. I mean, and then you can have a spectacular East versus West event. I genuinely think it'll be the most watched in-person event that we maybe ever have seen.
Yeah, and so guys, think about this for just a little bit.
From a fan perspective, like Ian, Neil Pickup did arm wars in a mall, so a lot of people saw it, but those were not, those were just spectators.
They didn't pay to be there.
Those were just, passerbys. I'm talking about people who actually paid to attend an arm wrestling event.
Right.
And be entertained, and I think that's gonna be crazy.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about this for just a second, because I brought this up to Michael and Paul while we're sitting there, and I'm looking at a packed house, guys, okay, of fans. And it was to the point where the athletes usually all sit together. They were like scattered throughout the crowd because we were having a little bit of difficulty fitting in, right? So you're going to have the athletes travel with their family and their teammates. And even if those teammates are not pulling at the East versus West event, I bet you they're going to enter the tournament the day before.
Having the tournament. Now, I think a lot of people would have went for the experience, would go for the experience in August. But having a tournament the day before just seals the deal, right? It's a family event because they got kids, masters. You have a day at watching the East versus West. It's in Orlando, so you have Disney World, you have tons of other things to do. We're actually going to go on a cruise the Monday after.
Right.
So we're going down on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, we will take a cruise over the Bahamas for 4 days.
Right.
So that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I truly think that's going to be a spectacular event.
Absolutely. So just think about this, guys. If you are an athlete in the U.S. and you would like to know what that feel is to compete against, Eastern Europeans and stuff, enter that tournament.
Well, listen, the people who are working the corners of the athletes will be competing in the tournament.
Absolutely.
There'll be people who want to come watch the event who will fly from Europe who also compete in the tournament, right?
Right. So get there.
It's going to give our North Americans a chance to pull, maybe not the elite East Europeans and Europeans, but a lot of them.
Right.
Right, because listen, if you show up to an event to watch and there's a tournament, you're going to enter. Right? That's how that works.
You love arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Mr. Paul. He says, fantastic match. Can't wait for the war with Lars, which started its
you gotta start posting today. I'm like, dude, I'm on vacation. What do you mean?
You're like, can I enjoy a win just for a couple of days?
Yeah.
George Burke, thank you so much. That guy, Frank, will give serious trouble to everyone. What a beast. Who else but you stopped him like that? Congrats, monster.
I do think I'm the only person who can beat him from the position I won from.
Okay, because
it was horrendous.
Neil Pickup was like, that was some of the ugliest shit I've ever seen. 99.9% of people would quit.
It did not go as planned.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into that. I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to the 400 that are on and watching now, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining to hear. We've already talked about what an excellent, amazing event. The most fun and excitement I've ever had at an arm wrestling event, especially professional arm wrestling. They're always a lot of fun, but it was just.
And you and I have been a lot of places.
Like I said, electric.
Slotty.
Yeah.
Multiple UAL events, multiple WAL events.
Right.
Multiple versus West.
And of course, Devin and Levon were the big draw. But what I'm saying is the fans were there for everybody.
Oh my God.
There wasn't a match up there that did not have a fan base with
even
excitement.
Like Malin just Flash Katarina, everybody's still.
Malin.
Via. Yeah.
Via.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, they were all there. All the sweets were
They
there.
were, yeah. So it was so exciting.
I'm gonna tell you what, Camilo Jablonski's a bad dude. how in the hell do you hold on to somebody with a bent wrist flop press as strong as Tobias and still pin him? Like without the strap. That's just crazy.
It was crazy.
He made a fan out of me for sure.
Move
What
your
he
leg just
what
a
he
little
did when he came and beat Cody and then Devin 48 hours apart, and then to go do that. Yeah, he is legit. That's amazing.
It was legit. Okay, so Michael Todd, let's talk about your match. So you were
So this entire time, I had a very strategic approach of how this match was going to go.
and we've talked
To the
about it.
point to where I trained specifically to do these things.
And you guys saw the lifts that Michael was training, the
Pronation engage setup, pronation engage back pressure, meaning on go with an engaged pronator. My entire move was to be a pronation engage back pressure.
How did that translate to your match?
No sideways whatsoever. High knuckle, pronator, boom, hit straight back with crazy amount of back pressure, so that when Frank goes to make his offensive move, I've already opened him to my side of the table. Regardless of what happens with the wrist, I was going to be drugged on my side of the table without any sideways movement.
And did we see you do that once before?
Yeah, that worked really well round one against Rebass.
Okay.
And then after that, I thought, hey, it'd be really cool if I could see if I could flash this guy. And then I got all kinds of trouble because I tend to overhit my hand. So, as you watched, I tried to contain all my emotions in the lead out before the first round, everything. When we slipped, it was kind of a release of just, let's go, I'm ready. Well, in that moment, I thought, hey, let's try to flash him.
So was that in your plan at all?
Not whatsoever was that in my plan.
And was that just why did that, was that ego, was that excitement, was that adrenaline, what was that?
All of the above. Because, just like Travis and Coach Ray were saying.
Dead on.
Yeah. Michael needs to quit trying to show all of us that he can flash pin people and just do defensive arm wrestling. They are correct. I am a much better back pressure arm wrestler versus sideways arm wrestler. Like I could go sideways once I get what I need. It's just when I hit sideways, because my cup is not as strong as my pronation, I don't get, unless I get a flash pin, I don't get what I need, right? And then I literally overhit my arm. I did take a wrong pre-workout and caused an insane amount of pump immediately. After round one, Paul couldn't get my hand open past here.
He couldn't.
I was like, I couldn't do anything to him.
That wasn't it. His legs, guys, cramped up.
So y'all know I can't. I'm a hit outside, transition into press. I couldn't stand back up.
Oh.
I still can't walk today. And we're in a fucking loft with spiral staircases. I am screwed for like the next 4 days. It's horrible because the cramp was so bad in my legs and my hand. And I'm the guy's always like, well, my hand would have got pumped. I went, yeah, turn your hand pump. Well, fortunately I did, because my hand was trashed.
Immediately,
round one. So when I failed to follow my plan, round one, overhit my hand, got the worst pump of my life. Now I have no other options other than block press and hit outside and just go, because there's no way once I don't get the pin in the open top roll, I can't transition back into a press. So the only options I have are attack with an open top roll or attack with a press, miss it, come back out and just bleed him in an open top roll.
Right.
That was it. Like I had zero other options, So
so can we talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, you want to read this one?
Yes. John Augustine, name one other arm wrestler that can successfully transition from a press to a king's move in a millisecond and stay in the match.
It was nice. Travis like, Michael Todd is one of one. Like people like, he goes, if you press, don't you either press a guy or get beat? Yes, normally.
Generally.
But I am very proficient at coming back out. And I'm more proficient when my hand's not fine. But it's still, Frank came extremely prepared. Lying, saying he doesn't have a press, wasn't working that shit. He was extremely patient and was trying to get behind it. And that round one pin.
He had a press.
It was nice. And it wasn't even a press that he hit me with. It was more he got control and just hit hard side pressure because I was trying to ease myself back up. But the reason I couldn't make that fast transition is my legs would not push me up. It was like slowly. And you cannot make that transition when you're out of position like that slowly. It has to be a very fast move. If we keep the constant pressure on the opponent's arm, I was incapable of doing that.
So if you guys are watching, or you guys that are watching, Michael thinks it was the pre-workout.
I think his strength was amazing, but
no.
I definitely had a horrible pump.
No, that's not what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Yeah.
Michael thinks that the cramping in his legs and his hands stuff came from the pre-workout. I think that it came from the travel, the cutting off water, and then
Oh yeah.
and then the pizza
I normally won't eat pizza
that you ate.
prior to a match,
So what do you guys think? Do you think that it was?
but it was thin pizza. Like when I eat pizza,
I
the next
can
day I
still
have
gluten.
the next day I have a crazy pump. I genuinely do.
Okay.
And we just ate the thin crust pizza,
Yeah.
like
and,
the
but you ate
European
an
pizza.
entire one instead of just doing like.
I did. I was gonna eat a couple, drink a shake, slices, drink, and I just ate the whole thing. But all in all, throughout adversity, I found a way to win. Right?
Which
and
you have to be. You have to, and that's what I wanted to get at. What did you think? Round one.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, this did not go as planned. You know,
But you didn't do as planned.
I did not do as planned.
So, but Michael told me, fantastic match. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your search. Hey, what's up, David?
Michael told me that round one he thought it was over. And
I didn't think it's. Oh, yeah, I thought it was over. I didn't think. Yeah,
Yes,
I thought it
you
was over. I was like, yeah, could very well be in trouble.
and
But I didn't verbalize that, did I?
not until afterwards.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Which is different.
yeah,
Back kind of like old me again. Well,
yeah.
we just got to win.
Well, and that's what went through his mind even with the match with Pavlo at the house. When he hit Pavlo and he did not
Flashing.
immediately pin him, he thought his brain went, oh, this is over. And then the next thought was, wait, this is just arm wrestling. He didn't pin me either, so now I arm wrestle. And is that the decision that you made when you thought you were going to do something with Frank and it didn't happen the way that you thought it did, even though you went against your own plan?
Yeah.
Did you have that thought come in after you thought it was over when you went to approach round two? And then
So here's what it
forward?
was. Round one, I liked where I was at the very first start.
Yeah.
In the strap. And then he caught a foul. And then the second hit, he had a little bit better position. Round one, when he caught the foul, I think I could have finished that match.
Yeah.
Had that foul not been called. But then he got the restart and he was more prepared for what was coming, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I felt my hand starting to fade. Whether it was the gluten or the water cut or whatever, I felt my hand going. I'm like, this is bullshit, because I trained for endurance all the time. How's my hand getting pumped?
Right.
Because like, remember recently, even my circuits in the morning with 15 rounds of wrist rolls and battle rolls, I was saying I'm not even getting pumped anymore. Well, I got a crazy pump and I was like, well, shit. So once I looked, because I was looking at my hand the whole time watching, and I saw it start to go, and I was like, oh shit. That's when I started thinking, this might not work out. And then at that point, that's when, Svetlana and Lev being there.
Uh-huh.
If you guys know, Andre Pushkar to me had a significant impact on me as an arm wrestler. He is the person who was my benchmark for so long, and is a person that I thought I would have wars with for the next 20, 30
Right.
years. So losing him was one of those things for me that almost made me quit. I was
Yeah.
like, then I thought the best way to honor him was to just give everything I have, and then I went on to, be WL champ and defending the title and all that good shit, right? But I had forgotten briefly until Svetlana walks up to me in the lobby and just in tears. And the moment that I saw this woman, it just brought back my empathy for her loss with the loss that I had just experienced. And hell, we're both sitting in the lobby with tears in our eyes crying, right? So,
Yeah.
and then the way Lev just looked at me and would run up to me and just want to hug me, Thought about that.
Watching you walk ahead of Svetlana and I, holding Lev's hand,
The kid just took off.
I didn't.
I couldn't
Well,
let-
I didn't get.
There were too many
just a minute.
cars.
I didn't get a picture of that, and I thought, God, that would have been. I mean,
That would have been a good canvas or something,
just watch, because Lev would be so excited when he would see you, and me, he just wanted to pile kittens on me.
He put all
It
kinds
was
of kids
so
on you.
cute.
Yeah.
It was precious, but So that's what Michael was getting
Well,
at.
I
Yeah.
thought of that. I thought about
There was a
the
lot
best
going
way
on.
to, like, too many things happened the weekend that made me think, you guys have to break my heart to beat me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna quit, regardless of how in a disadvantaged position I may be in. I'm hanging in until like the fucking thing comes apart, you know. And like I said in the interview, I didn't realize until about an hour and a half before, and I'd known it previously, but it didn't register that it was 6 months since mom had passed.
Yeah.
And when you said this will be the first time she doesn't have to wait to hear about it, she'll get to see it. You know, I'm sitting there in this match, and there's just no way I was gonna lose.
Yeah.
You know, so it did not go as planned, but I think it was what I needed to happen.
Because you had to show up.
I had to show up. I had to, you know, even push past the like a bad ref call, right?
Yeah.
I knew that I wasn't below parallel. I knew I was not, and I was 100% within the rules. And I did get a little, not upset, just like, hey, no, I want to see it. And then instead of me doing it, I was like, hey, Paul, go take care of that shit, please. You know,
Because that's what the cousin tends to do.
They always have somebody to go dispute a call, right?
While the
I wasted
athletes
a lot of
yeah,
energy
relax.
against Angarbayev, and
Yeah.
Paul we owe Paul a great debt of gratitude because he's been so.
And Arnold.
Artem as well. Artem called one of the VIPs and said, "Let me talk to Paul."
Yeah.
He's like, "Tell Michael to do this, right?"
Yeah.
And it was it worked out, right? So I mean, I held it together in a very emotionally charged match but it felt like old me.
Yeah.
It felt like that me who, like, listen, bro, I'm here to arm wrestle. And you're gonna have to want it to me. You know, this was a true my disgust for losing will outweigh your desire to win
Moment.
match, right? And that was nice to feel that way again. So I would like it to have been 3-0, but I think I needed it to be a war.
Yeah.
Because that war, like Pablo, I did well in that match. I had a good control, but obviously I didn't have all the travel and all the other things going on at that point. So this match I needed this.
You
know,
you needed to be in a fight.
And I picked Frank because I knew he was a difficult opponent. I picked Lars because I knew he'll be a difficult opponent. And I will go home and I will prepare even harder for Lars than I did for this.
Because what you said was, you've got a lot of work to do.
I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do because my goals are big. My goals are very, very big. So I'm going to tell you guys this. This hit me at the press conference. I'm sitting up there just, somebody else was talking. I don't know what's going on. And I look over to Devin and I see him and I'm thinking, he turns 49 real soon. I look at Neil and I'm like, he's like 6 months younger than me. I look at Ian and I'm like, I think he's younger than me. I'm like, I'm the oldest guy up here right now. So I turn around and I look at the damn backdrop. I'm the oldest dude on this card.
He got so
when the
upset.
hell did I become the old guy?
He got so
I'm like,
upset.
where's Todd Hutchins and John Mercedes? Why am I the old dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He got so upset.
I could not believe that. I'm the oldest dude here, and I think it's just the beginning. I genuinely do it. 34 years of competing. I mean, it's 33 and a half years. So
Well, you've had a lot of lessons to learn.
Yeah.
And
I think the surgeon did a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah.
God blessed me with an amazing surgeon. Blessed me with.
How about that bicep holding up, y'all?
Yeah, it's good. Also been greatly blessed with Vitacell Biologics.
Mm-hmm.
QC Kinetics with the A2M. I'll get plasma when I get home.
Physical therapist.
Elevate Health, Cold Plunge, all the people who helped me. Eddie Stedman Physical Therapy. There's just so much that went into this last 13 months of recovery. But it was me doing my part as well. It was me listening and me being patient and me trusting my surgeon's work, right? So I have no idea what we started off with that. But
Razor says, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, stylistically awful. You're almost sorry for both sides, but you still want to see more of it. So entertaining, looking for more. Okay, yeah, I, as the wife, the support person, of course, I would love for things to just go up there and be over and done with quickly, and we're out of there. I had so much anxiety going into this, and but like you said, we believe things happen for a reason. And while you did abandon your plan, and that definitely negatively impacted how things went, and you needed to have to fight for it. You needed to. And I think
I was in the deepest water that you could be in. You know what I mean? So, like, I was like halfway, like one eye up, still above water. You know what I mean? Like, it was, but it, I mean, I can't say it enough. The feeling you get when you're tested, you know what I mean?
so
It's different. Like when you have to get tested.
Yeah.
And that was truly a test for me, and it's one that I'm glad that I met head on. You know.
Al Sims, you were right. MMT had to go back to instinct to win this match.
Oh, what about my first professional foul?
Oh, yeah, you guys. Okay, so
I am not that dude.
what we had
I hang
seen,
on for dear life and think, oh, I should have fouled.
well, when you were watching the matches of Lars previously, not Lars, of
Right.
Frank previously, I
The
told
one time that Matt got in there and got some hand position on him. No, when he got the bent wrist press on him.
Frank professionally fouled,
Yeah,
which means
off the back of the pad, yeah.
yeah, where they purposely lifted, to get the restart. And I told him, I said, you need to be prepared for that. If he gets into a position and you guys are fighting, he will professionally foul. And that is something, guys, whether you agree with it or not, it happens. Pushkar did it.
Oh my God, did he?
Every round, which meant Michael had to
like 6 more starts.
Yeah, get 6 more starts. But
so having to stop Pushkar's hit was great.
It's within the rules, and it is strategic. We were screaming at Michael when he was with Angarbayev. You have one to give. Do a professional foul. Get the restart. This match, he finally did it. He did it once.
Yeah, round 2.
And I walked over to Paul. You don't know this.
No, it's round 4. It's round 4.
Round 4.
Yeah, round 4.
I walked over to Paul after it happened, and Michael got the I said, Paul, did Michael just professionally foul? And he's like, he sure did. We're like, yes.
So
finally.
a couple of the calls that they didn't explain because the announcers didn't know what was going on was round 2. I had one elbow foul, and then Frank shoved me off the back of the pad. So instead of me having 2 fouls and him winning, I had a foul and he had a foul, and that's how the restart happened. And I, was able to flash him with the press. Round 3 was they called me. I had an elbow foul, and then they called me for declined humerus, and they went back and watched it, and he was like, "No, guys, that's not declined humerus." And then the refs didn't understand. Both 2 refs were looking for 2 different things, and so he was like, "No, this has to be here." And so they came back and said, "Okay, that wasn't a foul. We're gonna restart it." So that clears those things up. But I knew. I mean, like, listen, I lost my shit last time because I didn't foul it either. But
you couldn't do that.
Yeah, I was not. Listen, I did not have much energy. So the bumps were pretty bad. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. I
you couldn't have walked over there.
I could have got off stage. I was after the win when I jumped off stage and picked up Rebecca. I was like, well, I'm gonna jump off it, but I may not make it.
I couldn't believe you picked me up, and I'm not sure if your legs were gonna hold. So that was ridiculous. Todd and Oleg's love child. This is actually a good point to bring up. He says, embrace your style. Thank you so much for the super chat. Michael, you are a monster, a vampire. Drain, and then smash. We love your style.
And I'm going to just be 100% transparent right now. I love all the support that we have received throughout this social media journey, endeavor, whatever you want to call it. But there will always be hate. I did not realize that I was going to be hated for trying to be a traditional arm wrestler, for trying to be what's the word that Neil uses when he describes Devin going back, fundamental arm wrestling. Fundamental arm wrestling. But then it didn't have some of the best outcomes, right? So I was going to be hated for trying not to King's move if I lost, and I was going to be hated if I won with the King's move. And I'm like, gonna be hated away. I'm gonna win.
Yeah, because being hated and winning
Listen,
is
bro.
much better than being hated
I'm
and
telling
losing.
you, man. Understand me. Whatever the rules are, I will push those to as far as I can possibly go within the rules to win a match.
Mhm.
That's the facts. And so, love me or hate me, I'm here to stay.
Kyle Rayner, thank you so much for the super chat. Good match. How's your endurance? Seemed really tired. That's what we were just discussing.
So a lot of the head down strap stuff, I just did that to get height in the strap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, I'm so tired. Push up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, refs Michael started. Oh my God, look, Michael's so tired. He's an old guy. He's old.
Is that something Artem showed you?
So I'm doing it like this, head down, and I hear Paul go, elbow forward, push up, elbow forward, push up, elbow forward, push up, So.
And so Michael was real. Okay, that's also the first time Michael has really listened to his corner person.
Yeah.
Because Paul was trying to help him with Underbayev and the guy, with Rivas.
Oh my! I so screwed up that Rivas match. He's like, go to the referee's grip
every
and
time
then just pull straight back.
And Michael's like, no, I'm going to flash him.
I'm gonna flash him. I don't need a referee's grip. And then so round 1, perfect. Round 2, 3, 4, not great. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
The Catabolic T-Rex says, Devin has pancakes, Ernest has pasta. What is your trademark food? Pretty damn easy.
Pizza? Yeah, so
Pizza.
Here's the deal. The plan currently is I have to stay 115. I tried to talk Lars into going, letting it go. Because when we first agreed on the match,
He's definitely not going to
it was supers, right? It was a supers match because it's supposed to be February 25th. But then once I made 115 for this, we kind of agreed on the 115 match. I tried to convince him to say, oh, it's okay, buddy. Let's go. Let's get bigger. So I do have to be 115 in 6 weeks. After that, my intentions are to not do any caloric restriction for a year. Not get fat, but feed my body. The only thing that could change if opportunities at 115 came up that were, interesting. So we'll see. All right.
Phil Woody of the UK. Phil, your buddy was there and I spotted him right away because he had the shirt on, the one that Michael and I have one like. So he says Michael using his foul counts for one. Hallelujah. Right?
I thought there was another green thing. Did we read
No,
it?
I think I got him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that say?
In
That's the
Rachel's
vampire
song.
one, okay,
Yeah.
Well, then you gotta go back up though, see if there's any. Other way.
Just a minute, leave it alone.
All right, baby. I just didn't want to miss anybody.
Okay, here we go. Aaron says, thank you so much for the super
Thank you,
chat.
Aaron, very much.
What does your morning routine and warm up look like? Oh, by the way, I did read, some people were like, of course, both of them together, both the water cut, the fast carbs, and the pre-workout, all of it work together too. So,
synergistically, fuck me.
what does your morning routine and warm up look like prior to the match? Do you watch the other matches or are you in back room warming up on a table, stretching, lifting weights, etc.? How do you warm up?
I don't warm up still. I thought I might, but what I did is I sat up there. Rebecca rubbed some cream on my arm, and I kept my arm warm in a hoodie sleeve.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I would pull my arm together, and it just felt healthy and it felt good. Really, the first time I've been to an event in 15 years where there was nothing, like there was no pain anywhere. And right now, the bicep feels great. And normally I would have already done some bicep training today to get some blood in there. Now the back of my elbow has some tenderness, but everything else feels really good. I think when we get home, I'm gonna talk to Jeremy. I'm gonna bench on Thursday. Maybe arms Wednesday night, and then.
You need to do some arms now.
Well, we don't have a place. I mean, I told you I could get the backpack and do some curls.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
I need to read this real quick. Savon Toss, thank you so much for super chat. Grats on the win. Mortov has no left-hand competition.
Man, Alizon's crazy.
Right.
And he's still got some people he's got to beat, but I was super impressed with his match against Hermes. Right.
And ACAT says, you had some incredible press to open top row transitions in the Angerbayev match too. Did Frank feel similar, and how would you compare them? Before you...
Top row for top row, I think Frank's top row is every bit as good or better.
Yeah, in fact, what I wanted to say was, before you actually talk more into that, while we talked about the fact that you had the cramping and stuff like that, that does not negate Frank's power whatsoever.
His hand was
So do not get it twisted. I don't want to
Yeah.
see any of you reviewing shit on your channel saying Michael gave reasons that, you know, Frank wasn't great. No,
All
that's
I
not what he's
ever
saying.
do is state facts. That's all I'm ever doing. Now,
Yeah.
Frank was way more powerful than I had given him credit for.
Right.
And his hand was way stronger than I had expected it to be. But yeah, I definitely abandoned my game immediately because I just wanted it so bad, right? And that's what happens sometimes when you want the victory or you want the impressive victory, you just want to just let it all out on go. Sometimes you kind of put yourself in a predicament.
And predicament you did.
Very predicament-ish.
Yes, it was. So, also, someone from Italy is on here. I'm sorry, I cannot remember your name. I read it, one of the comments, and they said, can you tell us what it felt like in Frank's hand?
I don't know how to describe that. It just, he has a thick hand, you know. I did think I was going to take his hand. And there's a couple times when I'm out there hanging on his, you know, he goes sideways and his wrist starts to bend. But yeah, I did not, and you notice I didn't climb. I didn't do any climbing, and normally I climb from those positions. Just couldn't do it, you know. So he felt very, very strong.
Daniel Julian, I used to be a hater, but I'm so glad you came back and represented not only the States, but your family. I still think you could have beaten Angarbayev. And didn't Frank top roll Matt? Come on, he's a beast. Yeah.
Got a great hand. He's got a very good hand.
He does. Barista Gill, I'm sorry. So happy for you from Canada. Glad Levon won too.
People have to give LeVon credit. It was spectacular. Devin shocked the world round one, like all of us. But
we thought it was, you and I thought it was over at that point.
Yeah.
That's it.
But then you see LeVon aggressively come to the press. I mean, that's a scary dude to come in. I mean, 600-pound bench presser come driving on Devin's arm like that, and Devin went definitely illegal King's move to try to stop it, and it possibly could have injured Devin. I don't know, because the next 3 rounds definitely went LeVon's way very quickly. The next 4 rounds, I mean, but the next 3 rounds. It was a spectacular performance by both men. You got to give Devin all the credit in the world for what he's accomplished.
I mean, for what he's
nothing short of miraculous what this guy did.
Yeah.
And then all LeVon did is just show us that there is a level that is very high.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you talk about what Devin has done, and we were talking about this just before the match, and I said, you know, you think about where he was when he faced you.
Well, coming off the DVT and all that stuff.
Off the DVT, pneumonia, all of that stuff, and where he was when he faced you, and then what's transpired since May of 21. You know, the matches he's taken, he's been very strategic and focused.
No, he's inconsistent. You know? I mean, he did take, right after the match, he did go fight Thor, and then right after that.
He did do that.
Right after that was his full-blown training, you know?
Yeah.
But very impressive story. He'll go down in history forever, for sure.
Oh, Phil Woody, thank you so much. He's a member for 27 months. I can't even believe it. Wow. We've known him that long. Wow. That is awesome. He says, that be Tom Dungeon Master, yes. Crowd chanting monster from start to finish gave me goosebumps. Me too. And Phil, I loved the fact that the crowd, the VIPs and everybody were just all around us, right? And there were so many people there who came up to us that absolutely loved Michael and then told us they'd been following, you know, from the early days. And to hear them chanting monster, monster, and some of them chanting Michael, you know, and then it would be monster, Michael. It was beautiful. And what did that feel like to you? Did you even hear it?
I didn't.
I heard it.
Yeah, I mean, people, so what I feel like I didn't hear it. I was
focused.
Yeah, I stick with my mom a lot.
Did we? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. Daniel Julian became a member. Thank you so much. So happy you're back. Onward and upward, says Stephen Francis.
Thank you, sir. So appreciate much. It. I'm excited about this next match with Lars. You know, we have discussed an opponent for East versus West 14 in the United States, which I think is going to be a spectacular event. And it would be a super heavyweight match. It's spec off is who it is. but it will just depend on how things go the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then now I think I learned a lot yesterday. I think I learned a lot. I know I'm training correctly for the things I'm doing. I'm just not doing the things I'm training for when I say go. But I do have to improve my cup significantly. I've not done any riser training, and I think I somewhat
That's a
neglected that.
mistake.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start doing some of the specific riser training. I mean, even with my top curl, I have not been going heavy with it. So I think my riser hasn't been as prepared as it has been previously in my other matches because I used to always go so heavy. Now I will get back to a lot of rope pulling every day, wrist roll circuit every morning, battle ropes, and it will be daily cupping training. I have the cupping machine, thank you to Pull Heavy, and I have several other attachments that have been sent to me that are cupping related, wrist wrench towel handle. Jody Harper sent that badass one Monster, got the Monster Factory on it, and it's like gripping a hand, and then it's the wrist wrench. So I'm gonna be spending a lot more time in the Monster Factory for sure. I haven't spent the time out there that I wanted because it's not complete. It's been paid for, it's just not complete, right? So I'm got to figure out what we need to get done to get all that work completed. If the guy's not going to come back, I got to find someone else. But that's why we have to postpone Monster Factory 6.
Yes, update. Let me read this real
Go
quick. Jeremy Parker, congrats on the win, buddy. I know you needed it. Now let's get back to work. The climb just started. Alexander
brother.
Clark,
What's up, Alex Clark?
just wanted to jump on and say congrats to both of you on the victory. Hopefully it gets easier mentally now that this one is over. Nice job, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Daniel Julian, thank you for becoming a member. And by the way, guys, I've got a lot of stuff I need to be sticking in the members area. Some of the, if you watched the last Road 2, where Michael is actually preparing for this match with Frank, where he weighs in with Frank at the end of it, there were parts of those interviews that were cut from the full video that I'm going to put into the members only section, and then plenty of other things that have been cut from videos that did not make it to the final production that I think would be great for our members to see. Stephen Francis, so happy you're back. Onward and upward. Thank you
sir.
so much. Have you tried Alex's hand in an after pull or others? Razor.
This thing did
Thank
not
you
get
so
over
much,
until
Razor.
like 3 o'clock.
It was 3 in the morning.
I was grabbing no one. Now I didn't go to sleep. The only sleep I've had so far was a little bit on the plane. I just was true revved up, and I had a lot of notifications and comments, and just a lot of people to go back and acknowledge. So I stayed up pretty much until breakfast and did that, and then we got to the airport, right?
Daniel Julian says, props to Mrs. Monster 2 for supporting the Monster throughout everything and helping with the videos and all of that.
We have had the last
important.
few months, this year, now last year was the worst year of my life. This year has been rocky. The people who know, for where I was 2.5 months ago, for me to be on stage last night with my hand raised, crazy, you know?
It's all in God's plan, honey.
Yeah.
Elliot Berry, big congrats, Mike, on your win. Do you feel a fully maxed out Vitaly or Kadecha has a better shot against Livon? Do you feel that way?
I'm going to say I think Gerdecha has a better chance because he seems more versatile, like bench wrist pressing, all those things. Now, Vitaly tried some bench wrist pressing against Hermes, but Hermes beat Vitaly, so Hermes get another shot. He's pulled Levon before. Nothing's set in stone, but as long as Levon stays hungry, it's just a tall mountain to climb. But the one thing that's fun about sport is no one stays on top forever, right? I enjoy it. I always love to see our champions dominate.
The match last night, I told you guys our ADHD might be jumping on board here because we do need to talk about the Monster Factory update being postponed. But then I want to get back to talking about some of the other matches. So if you...
David Samusha is an absolute stud. I mean, none of that was unbelievable for him to come back and win in that fashion. I mean, the guy's the most dominant East versus West champion of all time, and he just keeps beating everyone they put in front of him.
8.
Every one of them was a war.
Yeah.
So that guy's an absolute stud. But Camille Jablonski, amazing. Mendagas looked so good in that first start and then just couldn't get it together after that foul. And so you got to give all the credit to Arter. It was crazy. Irakli did exactly what I said he was going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, people thought I was stupid for saying that. I'm like, I've been watching the matches. I mean, like,
Been there. Yeah.
I mean, basically, Paul and Lynn got 2 9/10 pins on Sasha, you know what I'm saying? And Irakli went right through Paul. So I was like, guys, it's Paul and Sasha are very similar. And for him to do that to Paul, I felt like he's going to be able to do it to Sasha. He had leveled up, and I'll tell you what I believe is the reason. He went heavy. He got used to pulling bigger guys, heavier guys, stronger guys. When you come back down to your weight class, you're like, oh my God, I'm superhuman. It happens. I mean, when I went supers and they came back in arm wars to the heavies, I mean, I was during that period, I didn't lose a match for 3 years. And I pulled heavies, I pulled heavies, and I ended up being around 260 from 290, and I stayed around that weight and didn't lose a match for over 3 years, not around. So when you come back down and you start pulling those other hands, you feel amazing. Enough so that you can still pull the big guys as well, so it's pretty cool.
Phil Woody dropping in the pull heavy wrist wrench equipment link there. Thank you so much for that. Aaron says, who do you think has the best chance against Levon? Devin said Kurdecha. What about Dennis or Shaw? Do you want to fight Levon? Is he even beatable if he's healthy?
Well, you ask. You go and ask. 100% I want to pull Levon. Not today. Not at this current strength. But you'll know me. I'm never in this shit just to compete. I will do whatever I can within my power to continue to progress, to earn that shot. That's it. I mean, like, something drastically would have to change in my life for that not to be my goal. But I have a lot of work to do, and I will do that work, and I will earn that right.
Tall Paul Hutchins Jr. This is a funny question because I'm going to actually tell you what Travis said last night. Any chance we see Monster versus Travis Vagant soon? So we talked to Travis about arm wrestling. He's like, stop it with all that shit.
He's like, I don't want to lose my announcing gig. He's like, dude, I might have 1 or 2 matches in me at the most. He said, I can announce for the next 10 years.
Yeah. He said, stop it with the matches. Yeah.
Travis is great for the sport.
He is.
But I mean, and the thing is, a motivated Travis could always be a threat to anyone. We just may never see an arm wrestling motivated Travis. We'll always see a financially motivated Travis, you know what I mean? So if someone offered Travis a lot of money, we could see a prepared Travis, but you know, we're not there yet. But he does have his place in the sport for sure.
Rishika Shurdkar, I'm so sorry. I know I butchered your name and I'm so sorry about that. You know KSF Academy on YouTube. He's promoting, or YT, he's promoting arm wrestling in India.
I don't know, but I can look him up, but that's awesome, and thank you for your support.
Thank you.
There's so many people promoting. Devin is the forerunner. Devin's the face out there that people recognize. But you also have Schoolboy. Now you have Leonidas, you have Larry, you have Akimbo, right? Hell, our platform did over 200 million views in 2022 and 2023, right? So it's a group effort for the love of the sport. Like Devin and I especially, we have done this the majority of our life, and it's only because of the opportunities that the sport has given us that we're able to, via social media and different platforms and different appearances, to be able to share the sport that we love so much with the world. And I've never been happier for where the sport's at today. And I think, you know, Chael Sonnen talking about it and some other things that are going on in this event that just happened. I had Brian Shaw text me this morning, hey brother, super proud of your win, awesome job, blah, blah, blah. And Brian and I communicated a little bit in the past, but I think this might be the first time he's ever texted me first, you know what I mean? Lex little YouTuber and Instagram guy, 775,000 on Instagram and 300-some-thousand on YouTube, started following me. And then Leonidas is like, yeah, I'd love to come over and train, and Akimbo and Kirill Sarchev getting more into arm wrestling. We're on the verge of something big, and that's one of the things that the reason we created the Monster Factory was because of that. Collaborations, a place for arm wrestlers to get together, just a challenge center. So I will continue to bring other influencers to collaborate once the Monster Factory is complete. And all the arm wrestlers around the world that want to travel to us and train will happily collab with those guys as well. Hermes has talked about coming. We've talked to Levon. There's just a whole bunch of different people who we would love. Now, I would also love to go to Georgia. We'd love to go back to Italy. Who would not want to go train with the Kazakhs, right? Those guys are amazing. Just no left-handed with Dallas on. Get away from me.
Get away from me. Arm Fanatic says Frank is significantly better than Lars. Feels like you need a higher ranked opponent next. He is higher ranked, actually.
He is the high ranked. Lars is the high ranked. Frank was ranked 9th. Lars is ranked 6th. Now that doesn't mean Lars can beat Frank. Lars has a great bench wrist press. Camille, there's footage of Camille Jablonski bench wrist pressing Frank. So it is a lane that potentially could be available to a very committed bench wrist presser. There's no comparison between their hands. But it's just, I chose 2 different people for my opponents. I chose a top roller who had a great hand and wrist with a goal of pulling back pressure and compromising his hand and wrist, which I completely abandoned. And I chose a presser because people think, bench wrist pressers are my kryptonite. I have a lot more access to range of motion to my own press, and don't be surprised if you see 2 pressers meeting at the center of the table.
Daniel Julian, thank you so much for the super chat. Chael Sonnen, say his name.
Chael Sonnen.
Okay, is supporting arm wrestling now. The MMA guy. Last super chat. Just here to support genuine people who are surpassing hard times and inspiring others. Thank you so much.
Means a lot. I appreciate that very much. All the super chats and support and all that stuff means the world, right? So, I mean, we could not have built the Monster Factory had it not been from businesses who wanted to take advantage, or not even take advantage, just to be a part and help us in return be advertised across our social platforms. And then when I built the Wall of Fame, or designed the Wall of Fame, it just made sense to add bricks so that people who wanted to be a part of the Monster Factory and forever be represented at the Monster Factory could actually purchase a brick for themselves, a loved one, whatever. Arm wrestling team, I've had several arm wrestling teams get bricks. So this is, you guys don't understand the support that's been out there for us, and we greatly appreciate it because it does.
It is not taken for granted whatsoever.
Absolutely not. It's the reason we are able to do, and like, because it's the weirdest shit in the world. Because there's been talk, Michael and Rebecca are so wealthy. I'm like, what are you getting this from? Like, someone lied about my net worth somewhere on Google. But the thing is, I'll hustle. Like, I have no problem, coming up with ideas and raising money, and
you sell yourself over and over.
I keep working the brand, right? And in return, I want to say thank you to all the people who help support us because it's really been a lot.
The Jester 81, I just want to tell you, there's been several messages like this, Michael. I just want to read it to you. Congrats, brother. It was great to see you back and winning too. Your mom would be proud, I'm sure. And we're all excited to see you next step in the journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, so I went through last night and I read so many comments like that. And it they meant a lot. I appreciate it.
Eric, are we ready to say that the new style Devon training isn't what we have all thought it was the last 3 months? The 3 Georgians are the champs of their class and all do super heavy traditional curls.
I think you do both. I think you do both. I do like the super heavy traditional curls. I'm not gonna lie, arm wrestling at its core is a strength sport.
Yeah.
But the particulars, the smaller muscle groups, the refinement, no one can deny Devon. Okay, so here's the deal. Devon's pronation has shut everyone down, except for the guy who can out-pronate Devon. So we saw the pronation lift. We saw Devon continue to climb, We saw Vaughn grab a hold of it and beat his record immediately. And even Devon said he's probably good for 90 to 100 kgs with it, So clearly it works. It compromised everyone's wrist but Lavon. And in round 1, it slightly gave you hope that, holy shit. But yes, you have to do it all. Anyone that thinks arm wrestling is one thing is naive to what arm wrestling all encompasses, right? It's clearly, it's mental, it's heart, it's technique, it's strength, it's willingness not to quit. There's so many things that are involved in this sport and that translates to life as well. Is
And so you do arm wrestling specific training, but you also do overall body just getting stronger training. And one of those things is your deadlifts, which you catch shit for because they're like, deadlifts don't help arm wrestling. Let's talk
well,
about
and
that.
then I catch shit because it's a hex bar. Okay, it's the hex bar. Yeah, I tore my bicep. I'm not doing it over under. My hands aren't big enough to do a thumb wrap. So that's what you got. You know what I'm saying?
But
It's
also-
either me do hex bar deadlift and get some work in my hand, or me do straight bar deadlifts with wraps.
Which would do no work for your
Yeah,
hand.
straps. You know.
Yeah.
Now I still get central nervous system. I still get strong back. Still get strong everything. And it might be a point to where I want to do that, just to see how much I can, straight bar deadlift. But I mean, I pulled 605 on straight bar. I pulled 605 on hex. The most I pulled on straight bar in the last years was 550 when I was in 2022.
But you didn't actually talk about what I wanted you to talk about. Tell the folks watching why you don't use straps.
Obviously, because I want. If people are like, oh, you would have got it if you used straps, that would have defeated the purpose. If I use something different to achieve a better result, then it wasn't the same situation. I changed the factors, right? I have the same factors every time I lift. That's how I know if I got stronger. If the left lift is successful, I changed nothing. I just got stronger.
But it's also working your hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not significantly working my hand, but it's definitely.
You have to hold on to
You gotta
it.
grip that shit.
I mean, if it slips out of your hand, which you did.
It did at 605.
You
And
know?
the week before, I had done the 501 for 10 and think I had 15 in me. I didn't think I was gonna have 10. Yeah.
Alexander Clark says, Mike, were there areas where Frank surprised you?
Well, his arm was stronger than it had been, 17 years ago. he had a much stronger arm. I mean, he was a bigger guy. We're both bigger guys, but he was stronger than he used to be.
Bob Bobman. The thing about your comment, and I don't want to read it, but the thing about your comment, sir, is you are making assumptions, and all I can tell you. All I can tell you is people make assumptions.
Yeah.
And you're not always correct.
No, I appreciate, what you're thinking and everything, but it's just.
And the thing is, people want to talk about, well, it's just not fair that he's that big. It's an open weight
It's a super heavyweight title.
Yeah.
To complain about the size of someone in the super heavyweight.
It's never the person that's chasing.
We all know what's out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's
the people chasing that goal are never the ones bitching about the weight discrepancy.
No, Devin felt stronger at this weight than he did when he
is.
Yeah. So it's not about the size of someone or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that this is the super heavyweight. This is the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain is the super heavyweight champion most of the time, right?
Tom Paul Hutchins Jr., you watch, you know how I feel about that. No, Jody and I did not pull, okay? Because we're not gonna, because I don't arm wrestle anymore, okay? And Jody was freaking focused on what she was there for, as I was as well. And to tell you the truth, that is not the atmosphere. If we were gonna pull, which we're not, that is not the atmosphere that we would, okay? Because we were there for much bigger purposes at that, at that moment. You home already? No, we're in Amsterdam.
Tired as shit. So sleepy.
NBK on here, the real question, how bad do you miss your dogs? Okay.
Listen, bro, that can stop us from traveling completely. Outside of traveling in the RV, the dogs that's the only thing we hate about traveling. We love traveling. We got invited to go all over the place over here. Like, oh yeah, we can. And we want to so badly, but
it's like I would love to go there. And he'll look at me. Would you really?
Our friend who's keeping our dogs sends us pictures, and I see how much they miss us in their eyes, and they're like, we gotta get home.
So I have a very dear friend, Karen Kelly, that keeps our puppers. She is amazing. She's also our trainer in animal behaviors, right? That helps to make sure our dogs are all happy and meshing well. And she spoils them. And I'm like, but they love me. They just love, and they love her. But I'm their mama.
Listen, Bandit loves you like I've never seen a dog love a person. Who's the mad guy here?
Matt Kruger, thank you so much for becoming a member.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate your support.
Ingen's Forehead Talk. What is that kind of name? He says, is Corey West still training for arm wrestling? If he was passionate about the sport, wouldn't he have a legitimate chance at Levon in a few years?
Corey has a lot of potential, and we will be starting to train together again very soon. He's going to have a match in August as well.
Yes.
So we, at least between King of the Table and East versus West, we'll be regularly getting together to help each other for sure.
So Rebecca's face when MMT mentioned the RV. I love the RV.
Yeah.
I love RV life because I can take my dogs.
That's the reason we have it.
You know. Job still not done, Mike. We keep on climbing. Oh yeah, he's got goals, guys. Didn't Corey used to have a YouTube channel, or am I crazy? He did.
Yeah.
That was
ran by somebody else, and they have it.
So, and they have it. He does not. All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I gotta tell you, I'm getting hungry, Michael. I thought a shake would do it, but
so we've been on an hour.
Is it really?
9 o'clock already.
And it's daylight out there.
Yeah. Remember May, they get dark till like 10:30 or something.
So we're in Amsterdam, guys, and apparently the days are longer than they are at home. Okay,
Right.
But I'm gonna need to go ahead and.
Oh shit, we didn't talk about Monster Factory.
Monster Factory.
All right, so Monster Factory.
Postpone. If you are one of the people that have submitted your arm wrestling matches and practices
We're going to be getting back
us,
to that, guys.
we are getting back to that. We had some issues.
Our podcast room has been occupied by videographers. So.
And we had some issues with
Internet
and streaming.
Internet, yeah.
So that contest has not stopped. But because Monster Factory is postponed to
July the 20th. It's just, I wanted to make May 18th happen, and it's just not possible. Too many other things happening right now in my life for me to be able to do that. So we're going to push to July 20th. I'll be hosting the Arkansas State Championships July 27th at the Harley Davidson dealership in Little Rock. So having the Monster Factory and then have an open tournament the next weekend for anyone who wants to come would be pretty cool. We have I don't have the main card set yet. We talked about a round robin between a bunch of people, but I just don't know how it's going to go. We'll see. I know I have some obligations.
Most of them are probably going to be pulling in August.
Several.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some obligations for matches I had already promised for this event, so I'm going to go through with those. But yeah, July 20th. We had a lot of people who were like, do you have any VIPs at the Monster Factory? Yeah, we kind of told Ian the idea about VIPs, right? Yeah. So I've got several people there at this event that want to come to the Monster Factory as a VIP as well. So our VIP experience is basically you get the Friday night event, Saturday after pulling, all that good stuff. So a lot of fun times. You get a Monster Factory shirt with your name on it or whatever name you want, stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. I'm excited I'm thankful for this match. It way more difficult than I had wanted it to be, but like I said, it's what I needed, and I'm excited about moving forward. And I'm facing a very worthy opponent in 41 days. So
Friendly Mosquito, that actually goes to what you were just talking about. He says, Michael, did you worry during the match?
Absolutely.
But you just weren't going to give up.
Listen, my doctor said your bones will split apart before your tendon comes out. So this is one of those challenge accepted moments for me. I was like, it was going to have to.
Alexander Clark, I will not be driving the RV unless we get a smaller one.
We have thought about selling that particular RV and downsizing to maybe a Class C cab over or smaller Class A, just because we love the RV so much, and there were some places in the Northeast that our RV was too big to go. We still need it big enough for 3 dogs, so we can't go van life. But yeah, we're thinking about selling the Monster Factory RV, We'll see.
Daniel Julian. Okay, now my last one. Sand bucket training for cupping. Is that still legit?
I love the rice bucket training. I've never done the sand, but I'm sure it's the same thing. I neglected it quite a bit the last 6 weeks. I'm going to get back to it doing it daily because it does work my hand a lot. You get a lot of pump in your hand and your forearm. I'm excited to get the plasma that I'm getting when I get back, and then after Lars, I'll be getting another round of stem cells. With body cells, so I'm excited about that as well. But yeah, I think all the training matters, right? I'm actually going to go back to building my bench back up again. When in 2012, when I beat Pushkar for the first time, like I was a 258-pound guy, but I had a 501 bench, and I could do insane reps with like 225 and 315 and stuff. So although benching doesn't directly translate, if you're pressing or transitioning into a press, it's all pec deck, so it's all chest.
Michael, your mom is proud of you and Rebecca. Thank you so much, guys. I've seen that a lot.
It means a lot. It really does mean a lot.
A lot are dropping in the Philippians 4:13.
Amen. We're like all through Christ.
Good to have him, MT. Back cards are always better with the Monster Show. Thank you so much. And Bob says he's not hating. I understand, Bob.
Yeah, I understand. It's just the assumption of who may be and who may not be
Is incorrect.
It oftentimes is not accurate.
Levon earned his position, and it is what it is. Pretty sure I heard this on Larry's channel, not my personal assumptions. I just don't want to see anyone hurt themselves. And I totally agree with you, actually, Bob. But I can't go into that. That is another discussion for another time. I agree with what you're getting at there, now that I understand what you're saying. I don't like...
We don't like the idea that people, because I know
will
a lot
hurt
of people
themselves.
who will enhance for a county fair or for this or for that. And I'm like, guys, it's not worth that. Fulfill your natural potential first. There's no sense. But at the end of the day, adults, it's like, people smoke weed, people do this, people do that, people have habits, they do this, and it's your body. I cannot judge somebody for whatever they want to do. We happen to be in a sport that you can do whatever you want currently. Like, we haven't gotten big enough where WSADA or any of that shit like UFC is. Now, there's a possibility that the sport goes there, and then everyone has to be tested. Now, I'm open about TRT. I'm almost 51 years old, but there's more than just TRT out there. There's a whole lot more. I mean, right now, all I do is what my doctor prescribes me, and I feel pretty good.
That's because this woman needs her guy around for a long, long time.
Now, I mean, in complete transparency, if money was no object and I had a team of doctors, I would happily be a science project. Just, hey, keep me healthy, see what you can turn me into. Like, I'd be down for it, because you want to know, like, what could be done, what's out there, what's available, how far can you push the human body? And we've seen it with some people who've done some extraordinary things. But it's not our place to judge any of those people, right? I mean, bigger, stronger, faster, it's cool to see, right? But everyone, arm wrestling, these guys, I mean, they're my brothers, they're my sisters, they're people who love what I love just as much, right? And it's been that way my entire arm wrestling career. I would meet people at the county fair or the state championships or the regional or nationals, and then you go to the WF Worlds or whatever, and you'd be in the elevator. You couldn't speak the same language, but you knew that you're both grinding, right? You're both people who love this sport that we do, and it's still that same way. It's just we're exposing that to the world.
And I just want to also say that if you have not seen the pay-per-view, it is still available for purchase, and to be able to watch that eventually, probably within the next week or so, it will be released match by match. But it was phenomenal just being there. If you have the chance to get to the August event in the US.
I'm telling you, if you're a family person, go ahead and schedule Disney World the week before August 10th, the week after, whatever you want to do. Maybe you get the kid, maybe go to the event and then you start some Disney World on Sunday or something, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be the best thing arm wrestling's ever seen. I genuinely do. And with where we're at right now and the exposure this particular event got, and will continue to get through views and releasing and everything, who knows who will be at that? And I'm talking about from an outside arm wrestling perspective. Tell someone what's going to come to Turkey. You may very well go to Orlando. I mean, and I'm just looking at this thing and thinking who all could potentially get invested in this,
So guys, we're going to sign off. I do want to thank you all again for the support for Michael, and for the congratulation messages that you guys have all sent him, and for hanging in there over the last year. That got very rough. But if you don't know already, Michael pulls again in under 6 weeks.
41 days.
41 days in Dubai against Lars Rogan. Massive presser.
He does have a Kingsman.
He does have King's Move also, so we will see how that goes. But after that, he'll have another match in August.
So I have
And
41
he's versus
days
Wes.
and then 10 weeks.
41 days and then 10 weeks, but you are not focusing past
41
August.
days.
And like he said, if you weren't on earlier, he realizes he's got a lot of work to do. It's not going to start today because we are in Amsterdam. We're going to enjoy the Tulip Festival and a couple of other things. And then once we get home, this guy's back to work. And stay tuned to this channel. Be sure that you
So yeah, we will be changing some of the content. It's going to be more training based, story based, follow this comeback based. We love everything that we've had the last few months with Anton and everything else. He's done a spectacular job. We will do collaborations once the gym is complete. But right now, I just want to grind.
and follow
And I
where
want
you're
to share
going.
that. I just want to share what it takes, all the stuff that, through Devin's channel and other channels, you get to see the behind the scenes. You get to see what it takes to be a champion, what it takes to push, what's possible at 51 years old.
Eddie Janampa, Michael, very emotional match. You are the best. Greetings from Peru in
There you go.
South America.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Yeah, man, it's I'm excited, and thank you guys for tuning in for this, but for everything else. And I think there's a lot more fun stuff to come.
Oh, Friendly Mosquito, why was Rebecca not looking at the live match? Because I couldn't see it as well. I found that if I turned and looked at the screen, watched the screen behind me, I was able to get a better view of what was actually happening on the table. When I was looking from the side, all I could see was the side. I couldn't see past big ass Lars or big ass Michael or
Frank.
I mean big ass Frank or big ass
Yeah,
Michael.
people are like, Frank's way bigger in person. I'm like, yeah, he's always been.
He's a big guy.
And he's got a long lever. Like,
Yeah. So I couldn't see the view of the table really well. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for hanging in. We're gonna go walk and find some food, I think.
I like food.
All right.
All right, guys. Y'all be blessed. Take care. And see you soon.